Hi everyone, this is Mix from Sneaks and Ball PH, and today we have the Kobe 5 Protro versus the Kobe 6 Protro. To start things off, one of the major reasons why I am doing this comparison video is that a lot of you guys in the comment section really wanted to know if the Kobe 5 was better than the Kobe 6 or if the Kobe 6 reigned supreme over the Kobe 5. So if you do want more comparison videos, just let me know in the comment section down below and I will do my best to accommodate those requests. Both of these shoes are really fun to play in, and they're also both very iconic basketball shoes on top of that. So in the grand scheme of things, right off the bat, if you're choosing between the Kobe 5 and Kobe 6, you get pretty good options either way. However, since we are comparing these shoes, there has to be a winner, so let's start off with the traction. For the Kobe 5, you do have that heartbeat traction pattern, while on the other hand, the Kobe 6 has that snake scale traction pattern. In terms of how they gripped on a clean court, it was pretty even. However, once there was dust present, I feel like since the traction pattern on the Kobe 6 is more aggressive, it stuck to the floor better in dusty conditions. You not only have that more aggressive traction pattern, but it's also more widely spaced than the Kobe 5 Protro. Then in terms of durability, I do think they're pretty much the same. My pairs did hold up pretty well, there wasn't really a lot of fraying, and there weren't any grooves that were ripped off even though I did take these out on outdoor courts a little bit. But of course, since these are still technically modern era shoes, they're not gonna be the best for outdoor use, but they should still be pretty good and durable enough. So for the traction, even though the grip on clean courts and their overall durability is pretty much the same, the Kobe 6 just sticks even on the dustiest courts, so the win for the traction is gonna have to go to the Kobe 6. Then for the cushion, you do have technically the same exact cushion setup on the Kobe 5 Protro and the Kobe 6 Protro, because for both of these shoes, you have a full-length Cushlon midsole and a large volume Zoom turbo unit in the forefoot. The Cushlon on both of these feel very soft, and the Zoom units on both also feel really responsive and really bouncy. Then even though the tech specs on both shoes is pretty identical in terms of the cushion, you do sit a little closer to the ground in the Kobe 5 compared to the Kobe 6. This is only because of the thickness of the Cushlon, and it's pretty much a matter of preference. If you like having that more low to the ground feel, then the Kobe 5 wins that by just a little bit. But if you like having a little bit more cushion and impact protection, then the Kobe 6 would be your best bet of the two. However, since I am one of those people that like a little bit more cushion in their shoes, I'm gonna have to give the win in terms of the cushion to the Kobe 6 Protro. They are both really comfy underfoot and responsive as well, and like I said, it might just come down to a matter of preference. Then for the materials, the upper on the Kobe 5 is mostly made of this fuse, while the Kobe 6 has that micro mesh and polyurethane scale upper. Fuse was a thing back in the day because it was just so lightweight and so thin, while still being pretty durable and lasting a really long time. The only downsides with fuse is that it doesn't feel premium at all, and it could also give you some blisters or hot spots. With the Kobe 6, you do have that micro mesh that is pretty comfortable on foot and requires little to no break-in time. Then since the micro mesh is very thin, you have those polyurethane scales on top for additional structure and durability. Then for the other materials on both of these shoes, for the back, you do have different materials for each of the colorways of the Kobe 5 Protro and Kobe 6 Protro. You have some of the colorways of the Kobe 5 that has this tightly woven textile, and for some of the Kobe 6 colorways, you have this sort of patent leather looking material. But with this all-star colorway, you have that sort of folder material that makes a funny sound. And for both the Kobe 5 and Kobe 6, you have these plastic heel counters, a textile sock liner, and that Nike Torch tongue. So with those materials being pretty much the same on the Kobe 5 and Kobe 6, the only significant difference there really is that the Kobe 5 has fuse, and the Kobe 6 makes use of a micro mesh. So since fuse does have the potential to give you hot spots and blisters and does take a little bit of breaking in, I'm gonna have to give the win to that micro mesh on the Kobe 6. Then for support, as you can see, both of these shoes are low cut. However, they both do a good job of keeping you locked in, and as a result of that, they both provide really good ankle support. You have outriggers on the lateral side of both shoes, carbon fiber midfoot plates, and external heel counters. As you can tell, they both do share a lot of support features, but the difference is that I feel like the fuse on the Kobe 5 just stretches out a little bit less than the upper on the Kobe 6. Another benefit in terms of support is that on the Kobe 5 you sit a little bit lower to the ground, which will make you feel a slight more stable. That doesn't mean that the Kobe 6 is not a supportive shoe, because it definitely is, but I just really have to be nitpicky because we are comparing both of these shoes. So with all things considered, I'm gonna have to give the win in terms of support to the Nike Kobe 5. Then for fit and sizing, I did go true to size with both the Kobe 5 and the Kobe 6, and they both fit me really well. The only difference between them is with the Kobe 5, I had to break it in a little bit because the fuse here in the midfoot kinda did constrict my foot at the start. However, as I started to break it in, it got more and more comfortable. Then for the Kobe 6, it did fit really good out of the box. But of course, with that special insole on the Kobe 6 that's meant to mold to your foot, the more that you wear your Kobe 6s, the more that it fits one-to-one. So essentially, with both of these shoes, you do have to break them in a little bit. However, for me, that break-in process was just a little bit more taxing on the Kobe 5, since the Kobe 6 just fits really comfortably right off the bat. So for that, I'm gonna have to give the slight edge in terms of fit and sizing to the Nike Kobe 6. My recommendation for the sizing though on both of these shoes still stays the same. So if you have a narrow or normal width foot, you can definitely go true to size with both of these. Then if you have a wide foot or you have a normal width foot and want a little bit more breathing room, you can go up half a size. Then for the overall aesthetics, I really love both of these shoes, so it was definitely another category where I had to split some hairs. With the Kobe 5, you have that super streamlined low to the ground look, and with the Kobe 6, you have those iconic snake scales that really just encapsulate the whole Mamba theme. You also have really awesome colorways for both sides. You have the Chaos, which I'm holding right now. You have the Bruce Lees, you have the 5 rings, the 5-time champs. And with the Kobe 6, you have the All-Stars that I have in hand right now. You have those Grinches, and then you also have the upcoming colorways like the Think Pinks, the Del Sols, and they're all just super fire colorways of super fire shoes. But we do have to pick a winner, and since the Kobe 5 is just so streamlined and super sleek looking, I'm gonna have to give the win to the Nike Kobe 5. Then for the price, this is gonna have to be a tie because they both retail at $180 US. However, strangely enough, there is a very slight price difference here in the Philippines because the Kobe 5 Protro retailed for 8,995 pesos, while the Kobe 6 Protro retailed at 8,795 pesos. That is a pretty small price difference of about 200 pesos or $4, and I'm not really sure why. It might just have been some taxes or something like that, but essentially they did retail at the same price. However, as we know, a lot of resellers just jumped on this and bought lots and lots of pairs. So for those who weren't able to get these for retail, they had to look for pairs on the resale market. However, I am pretty glad that the resale prices on these are starting to go down, and with certain colorways of the Kobe 5 like the 5-time champ and the big stage Kobe 5, you can get them for almost retail. Then for this All-Star Kobe 6 in particular, the resale prices are also going down, and I think you might be able to find some for retail as well. The only ones with the resale value that's still a little bit high would be the Chaos Kobe 5s and the Grinch Kobe 6s. However, if I was in the hunt for a pair of Kobe 5s or Kobe 6s, I would definitely keep searching and keep waiting until I find a pair that's for retail or maybe even under retail. There were really a lot of pairs of Kobe 5s and Kobe 6s that were made, so if you weren't able to grab these for retail at first, just be very patient and keep searching so you don't have to pay resale for the pairs you want. So there you have it guys, that was my comparison between the Kobe 5 Protro and the Kobe 6 Protro. They are both really fun to play in, but as you saw, the Kobe 6 won more than the Kobe 5. So in my opinion, the best Kobe Protro to play in so far would be the Kobe 6. If you liked the video, please make sure to leave a thumbs up down below. Then if you have any comments, questions, or any suggestions for future videos, please feel free to leave them in the comment section down below as well. Then also make sure to join the SNBPH Sneaker Hunters Facebook group because that's where I course all my monthly giveaways. Of course, I will be leaving a link to the Facebook group in the description box down below. Then if you haven't already yet, please make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon for notifications. It would help us out a lot. Here's Sneaks and Ball, PH.